I am here with Mr. Anthony Rosbottom, recent graduate of the Life Accelerator. Tell us a bit about you.
Hi Brian, I'm a visual artist from South London. I'm 45 years old, which is a good age apparently.
Yeah.
And I've been a sort of career graphic artist for the last sort of 25 years in the video game industry mainly, with the occasional holiday into TV animation for kids, TV shows and stuff like that. Tiny bit of advertising. I'm sort of divorced 6 or 7 years ago. 3 kids. Just living the normal life, which starts grating after a while, you know.
Yeah. What was going on inside of you and kind of externally as well in December when, right before you decided to join us on the Accelerator?
I was fearing it really, because I knew that I was going to have a bunch of these New Year's resolutions, and I knew it was going to. I knew I was going to jump into January. It's going to be a flying start. I was going to get down the gym and eat nicely, eat good, and then I knew ahead of time it was just going to fizzle out in February, March, and everything was going to sort of start falling apart again. So I had a slight feeling of desperation, really. Yeah.
Okay. You'd seen this play out before.
Yeah.
New Year's resolutions fizzle.
Yeah, for about last 5, 15, 20 years.
Okay. All right. How'd you find out about London Real? How did you find us?
After my divorce, I was newly single, and I thought, right, I need to, get my romance life back on track. And I sort of stumbled across the pickup community, the pickup gurus and stuff like that. And I was browsing these forums, and I was like, this is really cringy and a bit cheesy and a bit, not a healthy mental state. And I was browsing one particular forum of this guy, Nick Krauser, his name is, and he said, "Oh, I've just been featured on this new young media company," and I was like, "Okay." And so he goes, "Yeah, I'm going to be big," And so I watched a YouTube video, and it was you were there with sort of very basic logo and very basic intro.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah,
5 years ago.
Yeah, 2012. And I watched that, and I watched you guys, running around Covent Garden and stuff, chatting up ladies, and I thought, this Nick Krauser guy, it was all good, but I didn't like that scene. So, but I liked the channel you had, and I thought, these guys, they're imparting some good knowledge, and I was interested in that you were a banker. Even back then you were talking about your journey, and then you guys basically got me into podcasts, because I hadn't listened to podcasts before, but I was like, I'm going to my day job, and I'm like, well, I can't watch YouTube videos all day, so I'll get the podcast on iTunes, and then the rest was history really. I just discovered a lot more podcasts as well, and just been listening to podcasts ever since. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the decision, or what made you finally say, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and join this Life Accelerator? Because it's an investment of your time, money. What made you say, okay, I'm gonna go for it?
I can't remember who says the saying, but doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is a sign of insanity. I think it was Einstein or someone.
Yeah.
As in December, I was like, 2017, this is going to play out the same. And also, I wanted to start painting pictures. In my spare time, I do art as well. And I was horrified when I looked back in 2016, and I'd completed one painting. And I was like, this is madness. I've got a 5-month gap before I did the painting. I did the painting. I got a 5-month gap after the painting, and I was like, I need to become prolific with this, otherwise I'm not going to get anywhere. So when I saw the course, I was like, I think these guys, because I've known them for the last 5 years as well, I reckon they can help me just pump out work and be prolific and, you know, bring my A game to the table.
Talk to me about the first week on the course. What did you experience? What did it feel like? Highs, lows?
It was funny because I've used computers like all my career, you know, but the Zoom software was, I'd never used anything like that before. And, you know, you sat there and you're all nervous and then you come on and I'm like, oh, wow. And then, and I'm looking for the unmute button. I'm like, oh, in case he asks me a question. But yeah, after 10 minutes, it just second nature, you know. And then, yeah, in the first week, you know, you had us do the meditation and that, and a couple of other, you know, good habits to have. And yeah, the first week, at the end of the first week, I was like, wow, it feels like I've been doing this for a month, you know, because you're constantly, not on edge, but you were like, every moment of the day nearly, you were like, am I doing this right? And, you know, is this what's expected of me and stuff like that? But it was, yeah, the meditation, especially in the first week, was just groundbreaking, really. You know, I'd done it before, but doing it twice a day, just for 10 minutes at a time, was just a breakthrough, because there's no excuse not to do it, you know. So, and like the other couple of things in that first week, it's just really healthy. I was just buzzing at the end of week one, really. Yeah.
Talk to me about the community. Like, you're in this Facebook group with 60 people from around the world. You never met. You just met about 30 or 40 of them last night for the first time ever.
Yeah.
And you guys all seem like this big family. Explain what that's like.
It's really surreal because in my head, I didn't really think it through before I joined. And I assumed it would be 60 people at the same stage of life as me, you know, sort of similar income, similar age. And of course, when you join, you're like, oh, there's like 21-year-olds, and then there's 60-year-olds, and then there's people that, you know, really far ahead in their life and got successful businesses and, you know, have just sold businesses to international corporations. And you're like, wow, I don't know, what am I doing with this group of people, you know? But then there's people on the other side, you know, that they're not as advanced in their life, you know, they're in their early 20s and they're trying to look for answers. So there's we're all connected by our desire to get better, but it is a very, very broad mix. And yeah, like I say, seeing them last night was just crazy. It's like, even if I got nothing out of the course, it's like I've paid for a group of friends, you know, like just friend transplant, you know. It's just, yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
Why'd you get so close to these people?
Because, yeah, in the first week, you know, you have us do the you know, selfie vlogging, and because you know that these vlogs aren't going to go to your immediate current friends, you sort of let yourself go and you tell things that you wouldn't tell your distant family or your workmates, and of course they're all telling their story as well, and so yeah, you just get this compressed backstory to everyone, and you're crying with them, you're laughing with them, you know, you're just feeling their anguish sometimes, and you're seeing their struggles, and it is just like compressing time, you know. It's like knowing these people for 10 years and then just squeezing it into, you know, 6 weeks. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it is a bit like compressing time. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
And I guess you would share things with those people that you wouldn't share to probably most of the people you know.
Definitely, yeah.
And so all of a sudden everyone opens up, and yeah, like you said, you're laughing, you're crying.
Yeah.
You're seeing people with similar struggles with you, sometimes bigger struggles than you.
Yeah. That was another thing, was like, I felt a bit embarrassed in the first week because nothing ultra bad's happened in my life up to now, you know. And then you hear these stories of people, you know, they've been abandoned as children, or they've, lost houses and lost businesses and stuff like that, or had parents die young, and you're just like, ooh, you know, should I be here, almost, you know. But then it's all relative, I guess, you know. But yeah, it's just amazing.
Yeah. What did you struggle with on the course? What was the most difficult module for you?
I think the diet module, I started really well, but then I sort of have sort of limped back onto the gluten occasionally. You know.
Can you explain the diet module?
The diet module is, as I said in my review, it's not like a strict, you know, you must eat this, 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 and this. You have 4 quadrants, and the aim is every day you try and stick to one quadrant at least. So they're avoiding gluten, avoiding sugar, intermittent fasting, or you know, not eating till noon or till 2 p.m. And the other one is help me out. What's
no meat, going vegetable.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, going vegetarian for the day. Yeah. I forgot about that one because I was vegan for a year, so that was pretty easy. Yeah.
Okay. So that was sometimes a struggle.
Yeah. Because you got us to photograph our every meal, you know, so you couldn't really cheat. Well, you could, but if you took a photograph of a packet of raw nuts and said that was my lunch, you know, people would be like, "What, is that all you had? Come on, yeah." There must, you know, you're bringing the Snickers out from the side, you know, like, okay, yeah, but yeah, and just throwing all the rubbish food out as well. It's that was sort of hard, you know, as well, but yeah, it got done.
Throwing out all those biscuits.
Yeah.
What was the biggest kind of aha moment for you during the course, or like maybe the module that did the most for you?
The extreme ownership. Really, that was the big aha thing. I'd heard about the concept of, you know, like everything's down to you, or, you know, you've got the choice. You know, if you're stuck in a job you don't like, that's down to you. You know, that, you know, if you miss a bus, that's down for you. You know, you didn't get there in time. But the extreme ownership side of things, now, before the course, I'd have a mixture of, I could have a bad day, I could have a good day, or I could have an amazing day. But now, since doing the course, I only have good days at the least, or amazing days. And I say I have good days because the daily rituals, they're so easy to stick to. So before I leave the house in the morning, I've won. You know, I've had a good day before even if something unusual happens in the day and I'm in a rush in the morning, I know I can, you know, I can get all the stuff I need to get out of the way in the morning at some point in the AM. So yeah, I don't, you know, barring life-altering tragedies, I don't have bad days anymore. I just have a baseline of good days, and that's through extreme ownership. Because, you know, like say if I miss a train getting to work, that's my fault. It's fine, you know, and I can learn from that. It's just, and the gratitude side of things, you know, I'm grateful for missing the train because it teaches me I need to get my act into gear, you know, get up 5 minutes early or whatever. Yeah.
What is that morning routine that sets you up? I like how you said that, to where basically you've already won before you walk out the door.
Yeah.
Can you explain that?
Yeah. My new routine now is I'm notorious amongst my friends for being a late riser, you know. So during this course, you know, get up at 6, immediately gratitude journal, which takes about 4 or 5 minutes. You know, just try and put 3 points down, you know, what you're grateful for. And then straight into 10 minutes of meditation. And then breakfast, which usually is just a coffee, to be honest, you know. Occasionally some scrambled eggs maybe. And then, then just get showered, work. Getting up earlier, I can do about 45 minutes, an hour of my own artwork in the morning. So every day I'm doing my own artwork. So when I leave the house, I'm like, you know, if something crazy happens in the evening and I can't get to my paintings, I've done a little bit. It's all good. So I've won. You know, yeah.
That's nice. Beautiful. Most people can't walk out of the door at 9 in the morning and already have won the day.
Yeah.
So, if there's one takeaway that you can share with people that are watching or listening to us, that you took away from the Life Accelerator, what is that one thing that people should, at all costs, implement in their life?
I really think it's the extreme ownership. Like when I got on the course, I was occasionally looking at my Facebook feed, and there's so many people that, you know, putting up passive aggressive sort of notifications and stuff. And you know, what I'd say to people, whatever situation you're in, you put yourself there. You might have done it 20 years ago. You know, by deciding to move to this city or that city, or marrying this person or not marrying this person. But where you are now is you've put yourself there, and just right. If you're in a bad situation, good, re-engage. You know, what we're going to do about it. Let's just, you know, let's get into it. You know, carry on.
Yeah, it's such a powerful thing to do, and stop being the victim, as we heard of it last night.
Yeah.
If you walked down the street right now and bumped into the Anthony that didn't take this course, can you explain how different he would be than you are right now? He'd
be harassed and stressed because he'd be running late for something. He wouldn't have the address, you know. He'd be like, I knew I should. He would have run out of credit on his phone and stuff, you know. And he would be probably daydreaming about, one day I'm going to have a successful YouTube channel, and just waiting for the right time, you know. And I'd walk past him and go, mate, now, get on it, do it now.
One of the exercises I have everyone do is talk about that person they're going to be on New Year's Eve this year.
Yes.
And I actually think we're going to have a call on New Year's Eve and just see everybody. It's going to be awesome. But who is Anthony Rosbottom on New Year's Eve of this year?
On New Year's Eve of this year, I've had a solo art exhibition in September for my birthday. I've got a nice little side hustle going on. I've got a nice the embryonic stage of a lifestyle business going on. I've got an amazing relationship with my children. I look better, you know.
You look pretty good right now.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, it's. I'm going to look better, and I think I'm going to have a lot of wisdom, and I'm going to feel loved by another 60 people, you know, 70 people if you count the London Real staff as well. You know. I'm going to be very calm, I think, because I know that January the 1st is going to come the day after, and it's just going to be business as usual, you know, just carry on, get into it.
Very nice. If someone's listening and is on the fence about joining the Life Accelerator or the Academy or anything, what do you tell them?
I'd say the money seems to be a big thing before you press the button. And for me, as soon as I pressed the button, the thought of the money just went. It was like, it'd gone. I'd say, like a good friend of mine once said to me, money is just noughts and ones, you know. Once you've paid, it's gone. You really don't think about it again. I wouldn't want people to think, oh, I'm going to pay for it and then regret it and be and ahhing. I really didn't give it a second thought after once I knew I was in, that was it. So I'd say, if you can afford it, you know, just go for it. And definitely the academy's very affordable. Yeah.
Anthony, it's been awesome having you on the course. I basically appointed you as one of the team leaders, didn't I?
Yes, that's right. Yes.
And so you're going to be on monthly calls now with your team for the rest of the year.
Yep.
I mean, look, you guys are like family. The Life Accelerator is the closest, most successful, you know, group we've ever had in the history of London Real, and you guys are amazing, and you've been incredible. Because on that Facebook group, you were interacting with people, posting videos, showing your struggle, getting vulnerable, and that's why, you know, just so honored to have you on the program and part of the family, because now you're part of the family.
Yeah.
And so I just want to acknowledge you and say thanks for all the effort you put in, because I think you contributed to this class being so incredible.
Oh, thanks, mate. I mean, you're not getting rid of me, so don't worry about it.
All right, good. I can't wait for New Year's Eve to see you with all those accomplishments. And I love how you're saying Jan 1st, 2018, back to business. You know what to do.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to all your success, and thank you so much.
And thank you, Brian. Really appreciate it.